We all know more people take photos with smartphones than ever before. But smartphones do not have the best image quality. Smartphones have much smaller sensors than a standalone camera. They do poorly in difficult lighting. Phone companies have turned to high dynamic range or HDR technology. HDR uses multiple images taken at different exposures to help improve capture of an image. How does it help? In this video, I'm listing 3 photo situations which demonstrate the benefits of HDR. Before we begin, all photos are shot with the BoostHDR camera app for iOS. It's a simple way to get great HDR results. Number 1. Sunset shots. Sitting on a beach and seeing a sunset can seem like a wonderful experience. Unfortunately, the smartphone camera cannot replicate the scene. Let's take a photo to show what I mean. As you can see from the non-HDR, the sky is washed out and the shadows are underexposed. Not exactly the way I remember it. Let's take a look at the HDR. As you can see, the app used the other exposures to correctly bring back color in the sky and detail in the shadows. Much better. Number 2. Night scenes. Shooting at night provides a good opportunity to capture dramatic lighting and the bustle of the city. However, unless you have a tripod or arrive at an optimum time, the image is unsatisfactory. Let's take a night scene photo to demonstrate this and compare again in HDR versus a non-HDR version. In the non-HDR version, the lights were exposed correctly. However, the rest of the image is pretty much dark. In the HDR version, the blue sky and detail from the shadows were opened up, providing a more balanced and pleasing image. Before and after. Here is another example. In the non-HDR version, the lights are overexposed while the rest of the image is really dark. In the HDR version, the bright lights are toned down, bringing back more color and detail. The sky is now a more pleasing blue and the dark scene is now opened up. Here is another example. In the non-HDR version, the smartphone exposed for the background correctly, but without flash, the subject is badly underexposed. Using flash, however, would have altered the mood of the scene. In the HDR version, the algorithm significantly improved the dark foreground. Number 3. Shaded subjects under bright sunlight. We've all seen situations where the sun is shining brightly, yet the subject is too dark because it's covered in shadow. Let's take a photo to illustrate this. The trees are underexposed because of the bright sunlight. With the HDR, it has preserved the pleasing blue sky, yet better exposed the leaves of the trees. Definitely the HDR made a big difference again, improving the shot. In the non-HDR version, the indoor portion is underexposed, not a very balanced shot. In the HDR version, the overall image has been balanced with better color and detail in the shadows and highlights due to the smart tone mapping of the app. So there you have it, 3 photo situations where HDR can improve a photo. If you like what you saw, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.